And so there was a car right in front of me. It was a little older, they call it a 2002 BMW. And I'm a car person, so I kind of noticed the car. It wasn't fancy or anything, but you just don't see them very much. And so I had paid attention to the car, and then it made a left turn and went up this street. And so I knew that he wasn't supposed to be turning. And so I activated my emergency lights. I think I honked the horn or blipped the siren a couple times. I did not turn it on like a pursuit or anything like that. I was just trying to get his attention. And so I get on the PA of the motorcycle and tell him he needs to stop.
He came up to the car and I said, "You scared the hell out of me." I said, "What are you doing?" Because I didn't feel like I did anything wrong.
I get over to the car and he's, what it felt like to me, immediately kind of a little bit standoff.
He started asking me questions. "Can I ask you where you were going? Were you in a hurry? Is there an emergency?" And I got stoic. I completely shut down. And the reason I shut down is because I was so scared.
And so I could tell that it wasn't that he couldn't hear me. It's like he just didn't want to talk. He didn't want to answer my questions. So if he doesn't want to answer my questions, I don't care. But it kind of starts limiting my choice on what I'm going to do. He
came back over to me and he said, "Mr. Jones, the reason I stopped you is because you went up a one-way street. You were driving fast. And I wanted to find out if there was something going on, if you were in a hurry, and I'm not trying to harass you. I really just want to know. I'm just trying to talk to you as one human being to another."
And I said, "No, if you just want to keep quiet and don't talk to me," I said, "you have every right to do that, and you don't need to talk to me if you don't want to." I said, "But it pretty much makes my decision really easy." And I said, "I just walk back and I make the decision, then I'm done and I leave." Or something's happened in your life that for some reason you're late, you got issues with children, work, anything that all of us have problems with that makes you not think clearly. And so then you did something either not knowing or maybe for a reason that you shouldn't have.
And I said to him, I just remember kind of melting at that point. I just said, "Well, you got to understand that I've been harassed or stopped by the police my entire life, and I'm pretty freaked out about it now, and there's other things that are going on that are really upsetting for me, and this whole experience is really upsetting for me as well." And he said, "I understand that." He said, "You know, it's a hard time for all of us. It's a hard time for me. And we're just trying to do a job." And from that moment, I think, you know, he still had his helmet on, he still had his glasses on, he still was geared up, you know, but there was a moment where I just felt like I was talking to a human being.
I said, "I'm going to give you a warning. Thanks for taking time to talk to me, and thanks for just listening to me and following my directions." And he said something about, "Man," he goes, "this is incredible." And he says, "Could I get your name?" So I gave him my business card, and he says, "You know, you're probably something I could learn something from." And I said, "Well, I could probably learn something from you too. It'd be great if we could meet sometime."
So I got a phone call. A few days later, I got a phone call from Mike Krebs, who was a police officer here. He says, "Kevin, I want you to come on out. Somebody wants to meet you." And he was at a hotel and a coffee shop or restaurant. So I got in my car and drove out to meet him. And I walk up to the table, and there's these two cops. And one was Mike, and the other one was Officer Balzer, without the helmet on, of course. And it was so funny because I recognized him without ever seeing his real face or his eyes before. But it was just, yeah, and he talked about his family, and he talked about his kids, and he felt like a friend.